Hey guys, what's up? Superman here. We're gonna talk about UFC 302, recapping the whole thing, and then we're gonna talk about, and then they're gonna have another one, another live after this about something else. But let's get into it. All right, first let's talk about Kevin Holland. Well, Kevin Holland's entertaining. Kevin Holland's fun. Glad, glad he won. Sure. Okay. Next, nothing much to say about Kevin Holland. I mean, he's not going anywhere. He's just entertaining. Glad to see him win. That's it. Next, Sean Strickland versus Duplessis. No, no, Sean Strickland versus Paulo Costa. Well, Paulo Costa, I don't know who the fuck gave Paulo Costa a split decision. It was a unanimous decision for Strickland, but whatever. Same thing. Now, we're going to talk about how much we're happy that Paulo Costa is a great fighter. Love Paulo Costa. But I want to just say I'm happy that Sean Strickland won because he needs to go back for the title. He has something that he needs to go to. Paulo Costa is just like Kevin Holland, just in his division. I feel like those are fighters that are going to be entertaining, and they're going to be fun, who are going to keep showing up and are going to keep fighting, and they're going to keep, entertaining the fans, but they're not going anywhere. Like, honestly, not going anywhere. I love Paulo Costa, but I don't see him winning a title anytime soon. I feel like he's just gonna keep making fights, keep taking fights, and keeping, having fun with him. All right, then we go to the main event. The right winner won. Islam needs to win because obviously he's the champion. He Dustin Poirier didn't really have much. We wanted Dustin Poirier to win only because we want to see him end his career with a title. We want him to get a title. We want him. And see, he already showed little interest in fighting Conor again. This is the problem. That was the problem. If he had showed interest first, would have been great. It would have been great. Would have been good story, right? As if he would have won, and Conor would have called him out. That's what all the fans wanted, but we're not getting it. You know what I like about the main event that we'll talk about? It's a quick video. I just want to get through this video very well, but I want to talk about the main event, and I really want to talk about something that I want every fighter to take notes on. I'm not saying every fighter needs to be good in every position. Doesn't necessarily, but you need to be a man. You need to take notes that you can definitely power if you have the will. Dustin Poirier, let me tell you, I told you guys this yesterday, and I'm gonna say this again. Khabib, Charles Oliveira, same kind of fighter. They submit him. Islam submit him too. Now we know the result, and Islam submit him too. But the difference between those fights and the Islam fight was basically the way that Dustin came out. Dustin came out ready. He has been practicing. He was in his bag. He did everything in his power to do what he was not able to do in other fights. And he almost won. He almost had a chance. He had a chance. He was giving Islam so much trouble that. So Islam came into the fight, said he's gonna do what Charles and Khabib did. Take him down. When I take him down, tap him out. He could not tap him out from shit till the end. Islam had to go 5 rounds for him to finally get him in a position to finally get his ass to tap out. Shout out to Dustin Poirier. Win or loss, you're in the Hall of Fame. I'm going to tell you that right now. We guarantee you, with this loss, it was one of the most impressive losses I've ever seen in a long time. Usually when you lose, you look like, oh, you're washed. Dustin Poirier, his style just doesn't match well with wrestlers. And you can tell. But that doesn't stop Dustin Poirier from giving it a shot and learning how to get better takedown defense and being better of a fighter. And that's what I want everybody like Masvidal and everybody. I'm not saying you need to be this like wrestler greatness, right? You don't need to be good at both wrestling and you don't need to be good at boxing. You don't need to be good at Islam has okay striking, but not the greatest. I think Umar Nurmagomedov has better ones, so better than Khabib as well. Khabib has a little bit better striking than Islam as well, but you know, you don't need to be the best. You just need to be adequate. If you could be adequate, you could be a great MMA fighter. That's what makes Charles Oliveira so good to me, that he can beat you with on the ground game. But also, if you want to stand, ask KG. KG said that, I don't know now, because maybe he might say Mike Holloway because he got knocked out by Mike Holloway. But before then, it was always Charles Oliveira. And Charles Oliveira has the most submissions in UFC history. Come on. Come on. That's what makes you a good fighter. Learning to at least learn a little bit of both. To be able to, you know, Masvidal, I saw Masvidal when it came to his fight against Covington. Explaining, Masvidal did not want to give in to learning and to have cardio for the takedowns that wrestlers would give you. Okay? Definitely not learning or giving in to trying. Dustin opened up and said, look, I'm going to do everything in my power. We all know it. Everybody knows it. It's not like it's stupid. It's not like everybody knew how the fight was going to play out in Islam's team. Spam the takedowns. Spam the motherfucking takedowns. Sit. Just spam the takedowns. Try to choke him out. Get him in a position. If you play if Dustin makes him play the boxing game, it's over. It was at one. A lot of times it was. A lot of times I had up flashes that if it continued going that way, it would have been a problem. But Islam was taking him down, and Islam, I've never seen Islam before in my entire life been in the position where he's been pissed off about what he was doing. Like you see, he got knocked out once. Fine, cool. But the thing that I have is he was frustrated. He was doing everything that he thought that he was gonna go bulldoze easy through. He had this mindset going into this that I was going to take down Dustin Poirier and I was going to be a sweet victory, satisfying first round, second round submission. Okay? Islam had that mindset. And everyone was shocked. Even the fans, even me. You know, like, I was saying Islam is going to win. I had a feeling Islam was going to win because I said if it couldn't be Khabib and it could have been Charles, Islam's going to, you know, I thought Islam was going to walk easily through him. And that wasn't the case. Like, yeah, he still won and I'm still, like, you know, that's not surprised. But, like, at the same time, I'm like, he didn't walk through him, and the way that he was like frustrating Islam and was like kind of like in his head, like, damn, want this guy go the fuck down. You know, it shows that Islam has a lot of weaknesses. And Islam's good, but he's not that strong. Well, he's strong. Don't get me wrong, he's strong. But let me be real with you, he's not the strongest ever. So he's flaws. If you can overpower Islam, there's a chance you can beat him. That's one. Another thing is box with the guy. Box with the guy. Like Khabib wasn't the greatest of strikers. He was okay. He could, you know, he could, but he wasn't the greatest. He hit Conor with a really good shot. Ask Conor about that. But was he considered? He had it if he needed to, but very little. Same thing for Islam. Their boxing isn't up to par. It needs to get better. Islam needs to get better on his boxing. This fight kind of blueprinted him. So we're talking to Arman Tsarukyan. Okay, you did amazing surviving Charles Oliveira's jokes. Okay? Yeah, you survived it. But Armin Sarukian, if you're gonna fight for the title, which is what you want, I'm gonna need you to do me something adequately favored. You need to do me. You need to do me a favor. Now, what you need to do is you need to wake up and say, I saw this fight and you were there. And you need to say he wasn't good at boxing, unless Islam, because Dustin Poirier can do it. And wake up and say, I want to be a better in my takedown defense. And Islam just one day just wakes up and said, all right, I'm gonna learn, and he becomes an adequate boxer. And then he sleeps Armin Sarukian. It's possible. But at right now, at what point, I would practice the art of boxing and box with the fucker. Box with that fucker. Because that fucker does not know what boxing truly is. Exactly. Don't come and tell me that he's some great ass boxing person. No, his boxing adequate. And he needs a lot of work in it. And so what I say is a key to trying to beat Islam. I think Islam, is a little weak. Like you look at him, he was like, oh, this monster kind of guy. This monster kind of guy. Looked at him you looked at him as some kind of, Ivan Drago kind of guy. Unstoppable force. But yesterday he looked very vulnerable. Dustin Poirier showed his power to over, power him, his lump sum. Yeah. Dustin Poirier, we're gonna miss you. This is just Dustin Poirier, man. Dustin Poirier, you're one of my favorite fighters, and every time you stepped in the octagon, I was just like, for you. Both fights against Gaethje, I was with you. I love Gaethje a lot. I think Gaethje is one of the best fighters in the UFC, but we'll talk about this. I was always rooting for you. I'm gonna miss you. This is gonna hurt me a lot more than Masvidal leaving the UFC, because Masvidal at that one point was like already, leaving. We're just waiting for him to make the true announcement because his game was leaking. But look, guys, I'm gonna miss Dustin Poirier a lot. This is gonna hurt me a lot. When I heard the news that he was trying to retire if he lost, that broke my heart to the team, because I couldn't tell you how much this guy is so great to me. I love Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier is one hell of a fighter. Yeah, I can give you a lot of Dustin Poirier fights. When you ask yourself, if you were to show a friend who's never seen MMA, what's one of the fights that you would show him? A lot of them have Dustin Poirier in it. A lot of them, like, easy. You could start with a small. You could start with the starters, like a bunch of Dustin Poirier fights, like Dustin Poirier and Michael Chandler, Dustin Poirier and Dan Hooker, Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor #2. Those, like, so many great Dustin Poirier fights. You can definitely start off your friend in the right path by showing him Dustin the Diamond Poirier. And the day that he gets inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame will be a memorable day and will make a lot of people tear for the amazing moment that will come. He is definitely going to be a Hall of Famer, and there is no question that can be told. There is nothing that could, change anybody's idea. Like, that man is a certified Hall of Famer. Alright, guys, that's all I gotta say.